She betrayed me. Even now, those words grind through my chest like shards of glass. You go through life convinced you've chosen the right person, the one who will stand by you in storms and sunshine. You pour in your years, your devotion, your trust. And then, in a single night, it all unravels. I discovered the truth in the quietest, most brutal way. Her phone buzzed on the nightstand. A name I didn't recognize flashed across the screen, followed by the words, "Same time tomorrow." Last night was perfect. My stomach twisted violently. My head burned as though fire had been lit inside it. I didn't shout. I didn't throw anything. I simply turned my gaze to her, sleeping soundly beside me, untouched by the destruction tearing through me. I couldn't stay there. The air in that room felt poisoned. I grabbed my keys, slipped into a jacket, and left without a sound. My car became my only shelter, cold, cramped, unkind, but at least it was mine. At least the air didn't reek of lies. That night, I drove to the edge of town and parked in a deserted lot. I leaned the seat back, but my body stayed tight, knotted with pain. My chest heaved too quickly, my hands trembled against the wheel. Memories assaulted me. Her laugh on our wedding day, her hand clutching mine in crowded streets, the vows she once swore. All of it now felt staged, an illusion. I told myself I would just close my eyes for an hour, but the silence was suffocating. My mind screamed inside the stillness. Just as my eyelids began to droop, a sharp sound cut through. Knock, knock. First I thought I was imagining it. Then again knock. I bolted upright, heart pounding, breath misting the window. A silhouette stood outside, a woman bundled in a heavy coat, perhaps in her late 40s, her expression soft but worried. I cracked the window cautiously. She bent down, her voice calm and steady. "You shouldn't sleep here. It's freezing." I didn't know her. She was a complete stranger. Yet her tone carried warmth that steadied me. My throat ached as I whispered, I don't have anywhere else to go." She studied me. Not with pity, not with judgment, but with quiet understanding. Then she said gently, "Come on. There's a diner down the street." I was headed there anyway. At least get some coffee. Warm up. Part of me wanted to refuse, to sink deeper into despair. But another part, the part that still clung to survival, opened the door and stepped out. We walked together through the biting night air. The cold gnawed at my skin, yet her presence felt like a shield. Inside the diner, she slid into a booth and ordered 2 coffees without asking me. Then she fixed her eyes on mine and said, "You look like a man who's lost something he thought he couldn't live without." The words cracked me open. My throat tightened, tears pressed at the edges of my eyes. For a moment, I thought I'd break down in front of this woman whose name I didn't even know. Maybe she saw it because she reached across the table, placed her hand lightly on mine and said, "It won't destroy you. Not unless you let it." Her name was Evelyn. She told me her own story, how her husband left after 20 years, abandoning her with 2 children and mountains of debt. She spoke of the hollow feeling of being discarded, of wondering if she would ever matter again. And that night, as the hours slipped away, she listened. Really listened. I poured everything out. The messages I found, the absence of apology, the way my wife confessed she no longer loved me, the crushing smallness of feeling disposable. Evelyn didn't cut in. She didn't feed me tired platitudes. She only nodded, her steady gaze reminding me that I was still human, still seen. At one point she said, "Sometimes the people we believe will love us forever are only with us for borrowed time. But their leaving doesn't mean you stop deserving real love." Those words rooted deep inside me. I realized I had been carrying her betrayal as though it was branded into my skin, as if her failure reflected on me. But sitting across from a stranger who cared enough to knock on my window, I began to believe I wasn't beyond repair. We stayed in that diner until the first light of dawn. Coffee cups drained, plates cleared, the world slowly waking outside. When the sun began to rise, Evelyn looked at me and said, "Go home." Not to her. To yourself. Start there. I drove back as the sky blushed pink. I didn't walk inside. I parked a block away and simply stared at the house. No longer felt like home. Just a shell of walls and deceit. But in that moment I understood. Her betrayal didn't define me. Her choices weren't my sentence. That night in the car, I thought I had reached the end of myself. But Evelyn's knock reminded me. There are always people who see you, even when you feel invisible. There are always chances to begin again. Sometimes from the most unexpected places. Weeks later the phone rang. It was her, my wife. She sobbed, begged, promised change. For a flicker of a moment I wanted to believe. But Evelyn's words echoed in me. Go home to yourself. For the first time in years I chose me. I told her no. I told her she had her chance and she threw it away. When I hung up, the silence no longer terrified me. Felt like peace. That night I lost my marriage. But I also gained something else. Strength, clarity, the courage to move forward. All because a stranger knocked on my window and reminded me that even in the darkest hours, life still knows how to show you light.